best friend is dating my son. She's known him since birth and he just turned 19. They announced it at my husband's business anniversary party. I felt disgusted and told them to get the fuck out, but now my whole family, including my husband, is blaming me. I'm 44 Fahrenheit, and I've been best friends with Serena, 45 Fahrenheit, for over 20 years. She's been around my family since before my son was born. She was at the hospital the day he came into this world. She's been Auntie Serena since day one. So, imagine my shock when this same woman, someone I trusted, someone I've traveled with, confided in, led into my home, my life, stood in front of over 100 people at my husband's company event and announced she was dating my 19-year-old son, Jamie. Yep, 19. They waited until everyone was tipsy. People had been drinking and mingling. It was supposed to be a celebratory night. I was circulating the room, making small talk, keeping things flowing like I usually do at these types of events. Then I heard glasses clinking, and Serena was on the mic. She started her little speech like she was giving a toast. I figured she was just being dramatic. She's always liked being the center of attention. But then she started saying things like, "Love has no timeline, and sometimes the person meant for you grows up right in front of your eyes." At first I thought she was making a weird metaphor about her divorce or something, until she grabbed Jamie's hand and said she was so proud to finally share our love. That's when everything went silent, and then I snapped. I didn't pull her aside quietly. I didn't whisper or wait until we were home. I said, loud and clear, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" and told them both to get the fuck out. I didn't care that people were staring. I didn't care that it was bad optics for the company. I didn't care that my husband gave me a look that could have burned through steel. Because what she did was sick. Serena has known my son since he was a newborn. She's seen every stage of his life from diapers to high school football games. She's held him when he had the flu. She's given him gifts at every birthday. And now she's dating him? That's not love. That's grooming with extra steps. I told them both to leave right there. Serena tried to play it cool, acting like I was being immature, saying things like, "We're both adults, and this wasn't easy for us to share." I told her she doesn't get to act like this. It's disgusting. She knew him as a child. End of discussion. Jamie stood there looking guilty but didn't say a word. He just followed her out with his head down. It was like he knew it was wrong, but she'd already done the thinking for both of them. Now fast forward to the next day. I figured my husband would at least check in and ask how I was doing. Instead, he's pissed. Not at Serena, not at Jamie, at me. He says I caused a scene, that I made the family look unstable, that it was not the time or place. He keeps saying things like, "They're adults," and "We should have handled it privately." Then my daughter calls me dramatic and says I need to accept that Jamie's grown now. Even my own mother told me I need to be more open-minded, like I'm the one who crossed the line here. Let me make this clear. I don't care if my son is technically of age. That woman watched him grow up. That woman had access to our family in ways no outsider should have had. And now I'm supposed to just sit down and shut up because he's legal? Absolutely not. Also, let's not pretend Jamie's suddenly become a confident, emotionally mature adult. He still asks me how to do his taxes. He just graduated high school. He still forgets to change the car oil. Serena isn't dating an equal. She's dating a 19-year-old she helped raise. I've had people tell me I should focus on rebuilding bridges and don't alienate him or you'll lose him forever. I don't think I'm the one who did the alienating here. I didn't cross any lines. I didn't betray anyone's trust. I didn't lie to my best friend and seduce her son. And let's be real, this didn't just happen. This wasn't a spontaneous connection. This was planned. You don't just fall into a relationship with someone you watched grow up unless you were waiting for a moment they'd be old enough. She was waiting, and that realization is what makes me sick. I've spent the last few days locked out emotionally from my own family. My husband keeps avoiding the topic. My daughter won't stop defending Serena. My own son won't answer my texts. It's like I'm the villain for reacting, instead of them being the villains for doing it. And yeah, I threw her out in public. Yeah, I raised my voice. But I'm not sorry. She humiliated me first. She made me look like an idiot in front of everyone we know. I had to find out at the same time as strangers. That wasn't an honest announcement. That was a power play, a slap in the face dressed up as romance. She wanted a scene. She got one, and now that I'm not rolling over and taking it, they're all trying to guilt me into silence. Well, it's not gonna happen. Let them blame me. Let them act like I'm overreacting. Let them freeze me out. But I'm not gonna smile and nod while my ex-best friend turns my kid into her midlife crisis rebound. They can all sit in the mess they made. I'm not cleaning it up for them. Update 1. So I guess this wasn't supposed to be a surprise. Not for my husband, not for my daughter, not for my own damn mother. Just for me. After that disaster of a party, I kicked Serena and my son out. Like I said, publicly, loudly, and without a second thought. I didn't care if people clutched their pearls or whispered behind my back. The only thing I regretted was not flipping the damn dessert table on the way out. 2 days later, I found out the real betrayal wasn't what they told me, it was what they didn't. Apparently, this thing between Serena and Jamie has been going on for a while. Months, maybe even close to a year, depending on who's lying the least. My daughter, 21F, was the first to open her mouth, acting like I had committed a war crime by reacting the way I did. She said, and I quote, "We just didn't want to deal with your reaction, Mom." Let that sit for a second. I carried this boy for 9 months, raised him, paid for everything. Was there every time Serena needed something, from helping her move out of her second divorce to babysitting her niece when she needed a night out, and she repays that by dating my barely legal son behind my back, then announcing it like a damn Oscar speech at my husband's work event, and my own family's reaction? We didn't want to deal with you. Cool. I went into full damage control mode, but not for them. For me. I started combing through everything: old photos, tagged posts, vague captions that didn't make sense before. And guess what I found? Serena had been hinting at this for months. Pictures of them together. That was posted in February. No one told me. I found another one of them at a friend's wedding. Which friend? Who knows? All I know is Jamie was wearing a suit I didn't buy, holding Serena's waist like they were posing for a prom photo. And my mom liked it. She commented, "So sweet, age doesn't matter when it's real." I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I took screenshots. I also stopped paying for Serena's gym membership that we co-signed together back when she was getting back on her feet. Locked her out of every streaming service I shared, including my Spotify family plan. Blocked her number, kicked her off our shared cloud folder that had years' worth of family and vacation photos. And then I started talking, carefully. A close friend of mine is a lawyer. We grabbed dinner and I asked a few questions, not accusations, just hypotheticals, about grooming, about emotional manipulation, about what kind of optics something like this creates when one party is a family friend who's known the other since he was in diapers. No lawsuit yet, but let's just say the option is on the table, and I'm documenting everything. Then I remembered Serena still works in a corporate job, at a company where image matters, and she's been posting pictures with Jamie in ways that toe the line. So I sent an anonymous tip to HR, attaching one of the less flattering screenshots from her Instagram, where Jamie's clearly intoxicated and she's kissing his neck, letting the chips fall where they may. And before anyone calls me cold, let me be very clear. I don't care how in love they claim to be. This isn't a romantic comedy. It's a 45-year-old woman cozying up to a teenage boy she's known since he was born. A boy she used to babysit when I had to work late. A boy who used to call her Auntie Serena. You're not going to sit here and tell me she woke up one day and just saw the light and fell for his maturity. What she saw was vulnerability. She saw opportunity, and she took it. My husband? Useless. He's more concerned about what the fallout is doing to his reputation than the fact that his wife was blindsided at his own event. He told me I needed to be the bigger person and stop making a scene. Right. I guess the bigger person just shuts up and claps while her son walks into a burning building holding hands with someone who should know better. He even had the nerve to say, "I embarrassed Serena," in front of people who could have helped her career, as if she didn't do that all by herself, as if I'm supposed to protect the dignity of someone who threw mine into a shredder. My daughter echoed his sentiment, said Serena and Jamie didn't hurt anyone, and I blew it out of proportion. I asked her one question: would you be fine with your best friend dating Dad if he was 19? She had nothing to say after that. And my mom? Well, I haven't heard from her since I told her she was no longer welcome in my home. I've put up with a lot from her over the years, but supporting a woman who snaked her way into my family and then bragged about it was the last straw. So yeah, now everyone's pretending I'm the problem, that I alienated the family, that I made things awkward. I didn't alienate anyone, I just turned off the free ride. If you want to support Serena and Jamie, do it on your own dime. Don't text me for gas money or birthday cakes or help with babysitting. Don't come to my house for Sunday dinner. I'll be busy. I'm not picking up pieces I didn't break. Let me say this one more time, just in case someone still thinks I'm overreacting. She met him as a baby. She watched him grow up. She waited until the law said it was okay. And then she pounced. If that doesn't make you feel sick, I don't know what will. But hey, if they want to play house, let them. Life has a way of dealing with delusions. I'm just sitting back now, watching it unravel in real time. They wanted to make this loud? Fine, I'll be louder. Stay tuned. Update 2. Hey, figured I'd come back with an update because a few things happened after the last post. My son showed up at my house a few days ago. Didn't call, just knocked on the door around 9 p.m. like nothing happened. I opened it, and he walked in like it was still his place, still his life, like I hadn't just watched him blow it all up with the woman who used to call me her sister. He didn't apologize. He came in to defend it. That relationship, her, them, whatever they think they are, started off saying he didn't come to fight, just wanted to talk. But it wasn't really a conversation, it was him trying to convince me that what they're doing is okay, that I just don't understand how real their connection is, that Serena gets him in ways I never did. He used those exact words. I stayed quiet, let him finish. He said they didn't mean for it to happen, but it just did, that I was making things harder than they needed to be, that I should at least try to support him. I guess support means sitting down, shutting up, and pretending like this isn't the most disgusting, manipulative betrayal I've ever seen up close. I finally asked him, "Do you even hear yourself?" He got quiet after that, not because he didn't have anything to say, but because he wasn't sure if he believed the crap coming out of his mouth anymore. He looked different, not just older, but uncomfortable in his own skin, the kind of discomfort that doesn't come from freedom or confidence, the kind that comes from pressure. And it was written all over him. He didn't talk about school, didn't mention his job, dodged every question that had anything to do with future plans, just kept circling back to how I was being unfair. I told him flat out that what Serena is doing is manipulation, that it isn't love when it starts with secrets and ends with isolation, that she's not with him because she loves him, she's with him because she wants power over him, and he gave it to her. He said I was being dramatic. Told me I never gave Serena a chance to explain herself, like she needed to explain taking advantage of a boy she watched grow up, like there was some version of this story that would make it all okay. I told him, "You want me to respect it? Then act like a man. Don't come to my house looking for approval you know you don't deserve." I could tell he didn't expect me to be that calm, but I've already done my screaming. Now I'm just watching the show unfold. Before he left, he said he wished I could be happy for him. I said I'll be happy when he learns what real love is and stops confusing it with whatever that twisted mess is with Serena. Then I opened the door and pointed. Didn't even say goodbye. He walked out without another word. That was 4 days ago. Since then, he hasn't called. I haven't reached out either. And I won't. Because here's what I've realized he's in too deep. And the only way he'll see it is when she's done using him. I checked in on a few things. Serena's wellness business is tanking, probably why she started posting again pictures of the two of them at restaurants, playing house, trying to make it look cute. But if you know what to look for, it's not cute. It's desperate. It's staged. One of her old co-workers told me she's been bragging about finding herself again through this relationship, that she finally feels young and in control again, says she's thinking of moving Jamie in full-time and starting over. I didn't say anything back. Just took note of it. Because here's the truth. Jamie's not in love. He's caught up. He thinks he has power here because she's letting him believe it. But it's wearing off. Fast. You can't keep pretending to be someone's equal when they've known you since you had braces. And she can't keep playing queen of the castle when the house is falling apart. I saw it in his face. The doubt, the tiredness, the fear. Not of me, but of what happens when this all finally hits the wall. I'm not gonna save him from it. I can't, and honestly, I don't want to anymore. He made his choice. He chose her. He chose to ignore every single red flag, every bit of advice, every moment of hesitation. He let her drive a wedge between us, and now he has to sit in it. If he comes back, it won't be because I begged. It'll be because reality hit hard, and Serena finally showed him who she really is without the charm. And when that day comes, and it will, I'll be ready. But not for hugs, not for forgiveness, not for a sweet family reunion. I'll be ready with boundaries, with a list, with conditions, because you don't get to burn down a house and expect to walk back into it like nothing happened. He thinks he's in control right now. He's not. And the best part? I didn't have to lift a finger to prove it. Update 3. Hey again. I've been quiet because I've been watching things play out and getting some answers I didn't even realize I was looking for. And if you thought this story was about my son and my ex-best friend falling in love, yeah. No, that was never the actual play. This was about me. It always was. So here's what's happened since the last time I posted. Turns out, Serena wasn't just sneaking around with my son. She was laying the groundwork for months, maybe even a year. This wasn't about falling in love. This wasn't about connection. This was about taking something from me that she never earned. I had a conversation with someone I hadn't talked to in a while, an old mutual friend from college who moved out of state years ago. We reconnected when she saw the original mess go viral online. Apparently someone at the party posted a clip that made its way to some TikTok commentary pages, so that's been fun. She reached out and said, "Serena's been trying to live your life since college. She used to say you got lucky, that you didn't deserve what you had." That's not even the first person who's told me something like that. Since all this blew up, the floodgates have opened. One of Serena's old co-workers slid into my inbox to say that Serena would talk about me at work all the time, about how I had it all handed to me, how I got the husband she should have married, how I wasn't even that smart, just lucky. I've heard variations of that story from 3 people now. And I started putting together pieces I hadn't thought about in years. When my husband and I bought our house, she was weirdly cold about it. When I got a promotion, she made a snide comment about how I must be sleeping with my boss. When Jamie was born, she was around constantly. I used to think she was just a really supportive friend. But now looking back, it wasn't support, it was surveillance. She didn't want to be close to me, she wanted to be me. When she couldn't do that, she decided to take the closest thing she could, my son. She's always been the kind of woman who played the long game. Quiet, calculated, always smiling when she twisted the knife. And the real kicker? I found out she had a miscarriage years ago. I didn't know about it because, apparently, she kept it a secret from me, but that same old friend told me she was trying for a baby around the time Jamie was born. The dates line up too clean. Jamie isn't her boyfriend. He's the stand-in for a life she feels like she lost. She didn't fall for him, she inserted herself into a story that never belonged to her. As for Jamie, he's still all in publicly, but I ran into both of them a couple weeks ago at a grocery store, and it was telling. She looked like she was playing house, full-on Stepford smile and everything. Jamie looked miserable. He didn't even make eye contact. He looked like someone stuck playing a role in a drama that stopped being fun after the first act. I didn't say much. Just walked past her, leaned in close enough that she could hear me, and said, "You still look like you borrowed him." She didn't say a word, just stood there with her fake little smile glued on. 2 days later, she filed a restraining order for harassment. It got tossed. My lawyer hit back with a defamation threat, and she's been real quiet since then. And for anyone wondering, yes, Jamie is working for her. Or at least, he was. She tried to launch some weird lifestyle coaching business. He was helping with marketing or something. But I've heard from reliable people that it's flopping hard. She over-leveraged herself trying to look rich, and now she's barely holding it together. One of her business partners pulled out last week. I heard that from someone who used to be close with her. Word's getting around. So that's where we're at. She tried to replace me, and now she's drowning in the version of my life she tried to steal. The fake version. The part where you copy what you see on the outside but have no clue what it takes to build it. I know some of you are going to ask, do I feel bad for Jamie? Short answer, he's not a victim in this. Maybe he started out naive, but he knew what he was doing. He knew how it would hurt me. He looked me in the eye and doubled down. And now he's stuck with a woman who's slowly unraveling, whose empire of lies is caving in. You make your choices. You sleep in the bed you made, especially when you thought you were grown enough to share it with someone your mother's age. Long answer, I still love him. Of course I do. But love doesn't mean handing someone a get-out-of-consequences-free card. That's not parenting. That's enabling. He's going to have to deal with what he did. And if that means watching it all collapse and learning something the hard way, so be it. I didn't go to war over a bad relationship. I went to war over the invasion of my family, the betrayal, and the fact that someone I trusted decided to use my son as a pawn to get revenge on a life she never had, and I'm still not done. Final update. Hey again. Didn't think I'd be back, but here we are. If you've read the last few updates, you know the story. My so-called best friend, Serena, 45F, started dating my son Jamie, 19M, who she's known since birth. She announced it like it was a fairy tale at my husband's corporate anniversary party, and I told them both to get the fuck out in front of everyone. Drama exploded, family turned against me, Serena doubled down, and Jamie followed her right into her mess. This is the final part. Or at least, the part where I stop updating because I'm finally done letting these people rent space in my head. Jamie showed up 3 nights ago. No call, no warning. Just knocked on my front door around 10 p.m. with a duffel bag, eyes bloodshot, and clothes wrinkled like he hadn't changed in a day. I didn't say anything at first, just stared at him. He looked empty, like whatever fantasy Serena sold him finally ran out of magic. He said, "I made a mistake." I opened the door wider, let him in, then told him, "You made a choice. Sit down." I didn't hug him. I didn't cry. I wasn't going to throw myself into some emotional reunion. I wanted accountability, I wanted honesty, and I wanted him to know I wasn't the same mom he disrespected months ago. Here's what happened. Turns out Serena kicked him out. Her business is basically toast. The influencer thing wasn't working, and the money she used to flash around was never hers to begin with. She got caught using her old company's email list for promo, and someone finally put her on blast. Jamie had dropped out of college to help her with the brand, and now he's left with nothing, no job, no degree, no apartment. He told me she accused him of holding her back, that he wasn't ambitious enough, that she deserved someone more mature. Funny, considering she dated a teenager to feel powerful. The second things got hard. She blamed the kid she groomed. Apparently she even lied about being pregnant for a few weeks to keep him from leaving. He admitted that with his head down, like he knew how pathetic it sounded. I didn't say anything for a while, just let the silence sit. Then I said, "So did you finally learn the difference between love and leverage?" We talked, for hours. I didn't go easy on him. He needed to hear everything, the way he humiliated me, the way he fed into Serena's manipulation, the way he let his family treat me like the villain because it was easier than standing up. And then I laid out the rules if he wanted to stay here. He gets a job. Any job. I don't care if he's flipping burgers or pushing carts, he's earning his place. He goes to therapy. Non-negotiable. He cuts all contact with Serena. I don't care if she calls crying, threatening, begging she's dead to this house. And most importantly, he apologizes to me in front of the family. Loud and clear, because they all played their part, and I'm not going to let this get swept under the rug like I overreacted. He agreed, every part of it. Not with some dramatic "I've changed" speech, but quiet, head nodding, like someone who finally hit the wall. Now here's the part most people wouldn't post, but I will. My husband didn't take this well. He came home from a work trip yesterday and found Jamie here. I told him what happened, why Jamie was back, what the conditions were, and that he would be apologizing. He said, "You're really going to make this a whole performance?" He came back. Isn't that enough? That's when I knew. He still didn't get it. This man watched me get betrayed, watched his wife get mocked and ridiculed in front of friends and business contacts, watched his friends seduce our son, and the only thing he cared about was his image, his calm, his reputation. So I told him to leave. Not yell, not beg, not fight, just leave. I said, "You can stay married to your pride if you want, but not in this house." He's staying at a hotel now. Our daughter tried calling me crying about how I'm tearing the family apart. I reminded her that she sat silent while a 45-year-old woman groomed her teenage brother and said nothing to me. Then I hung up. So now it's just me and Jamie. Not in some perfect storybook way, but real, quiet, damaged, honest. He's been cleaning the guest room, filling out job apps, and he asked me if I'd go with him to his first therapy session. I said no, he has to do this part on his own, but I told him I'll be here when he gets back. I'm not rebuilding what we had before. That version of our relationship is gone, but I'm not throwing him away either. He got played, sure, but he also played along, and now he's sitting in the consequences. As for Serena, no contact, no social media, no job. I heard from a friend that she tried moving in with another younger guy and it backfired. She went too far trying to stay relevant, and now nobody's answering her calls. I hope she gets help, I do, but that's not my problem anymore. Last night I went out alone, sat at a nice restaurant with a glass of wine. Waiter asked if I was waiting for someone. I said no, just me. That's enough. I've spent years making sure everyone else was okay, keeping the peace, smoothing things over, staying quiet for the sake of family. And where did it get me? Disrespected, undermined, lied to. Not anymore. Jamie's here. Serena's gone. My husband can stay gone too until he figures out who he's married to. And me, I'm not just fine, I'm better. Thanks for reading. I'm logging off for good this time. Let them write their versions of the story if they want. I know the truth, and I know who I am now. Edit. Okay, so I've read through the comments, the supportive ones and the unhinged ones alike, and I figured I'd drop a final edit here just to clear a few things up and answer some recurring questions. 1. No, I'm not bitter. I lost my best friend. She wasn't my best friend. She was a snake I kept too close for too long, and I don't mourn the loss of people who actively work against me. If you're still stuck on, but you were friends for 20 years, you missed the point. That friendship ended the second she decided that sleeping with my son would be a way to win some weird power struggle she invented in her own head. She made a move she thought I'd never recover from, and she lost. 2. To everyone asking why I let Jamie back in, let me be crystal clear. Letting him in was not forgiveness. That boy walked back into my house because he had nowhere else to go, and I made sure he knew it. He's under my rules now. That means therapy, a job, and accountability. I don't coddle grown men even if I birth them. And to the people who say I should have slammed the door in his face, you don't abandon your kid just because he got manipulated and stupid. But I also don't reward stupidity with comfort. He's got a roof, not a redemption arc. 3. My husband? Yeah, he's gone. He couldn't get over the fact that I embarrassed him in front of investors more than he was upset that his own son was being preyed on. He picked his image over his integrity. So I picked a locksmith over reconciliation. The locks are changed, the divorce papers are filed, and his name isn't on anything new I build from this point forward. 4. For those worried about Serena, don't be. She's flailing. The restraining order she tried to file got laughed out of court after my lawyer showed up with receipts thicker than her resume. Her side business? It's done. Turns out, customers don't respond well to someone known for grooming teenagers and posting thirst traps with life coach captions. The last I heard, she was subletting a room and trying to pitch courses to MLMs. She'll be fine. Parasites always find a new host. 5. Am I okay? Yeah, actually. I'm not healing. I'm evolving. I'm not sitting in the ruins of what they tried to destroy. We're talking renovations, new locks, new boundaries, new standards. I'm not the woman who lets people walk all over her anymore, and I damn sure won't ever be the woman who gives someone like Serena another seat at my table. This is the last you'll hear from me. I've said my piece. They thought they'd watch me fall apart. Instead, they saw what happens when you piss off the wrong mother.